After reading the news from today, you would be quite mistaken if you believed that the Securities and Exchange Commission could not possibly get any worse. Since the SEC filed an appeal against the Ripple ruling, the legislation has undergone significant changes. All of the legal leaders at the SEC run the risk of losing their jobs as well as their licenses. Now there is a full-scale fight going on against the agency, with a number of institutions suing and going after the Securities and Exchange Commission SEC. Ripple was the initial step in the process, as well as XRP. Indeed, this is a pretty significant piece of news. As a result of the fact that crypto regulations in the United States are getting closer than they have ever been, we are already witnessing strong indications that XRP will soon be extensively used, and its price will rise. To begin, it is plain to see that the Securities and Exchange Commission is unraveling. The Securities and Exchange Commission announced just a few days ago that Gurbir Gurwal, who serves as their enforcement director, will be departing the firm on October 11th, which is exactly 2 days from now. A recent article published by Bloomberg makes the announcement that Gurbir Gurwal will be relocating to Millbank Law at the end of this month. Even though George Canelos is currently employed as a lawyer for Binance and once served as the co-director of enforcement for the Securities and Exchange Commission, he continues to reside in the same location. As of right now, 2 of the most prominent former attorneys at the SEC are leaving the agency to join a new team that is working alongside cryptocurrency rather than against it. This is a very significant matter, and it is only one of the numerous significant errors that the SEC has witnessed. Merely within the past week, a lawsuit has been filed against SEC executive George G. Torino for banning after he gave his approval to the appeal against Ripple and its owners, according to the Crypto Basic and the Crypto Bubbies. This is the next big story in the cryptocurrency industry, because he committed an illegal act against the cryptocurrency industry, particularly against Ripple and XRP. Another prominent member of the Securities and Exchange Commission could lose his license. This is ridiculous. Is tarnishing the careers of these individuals. Among the many people who did not believe that the SEC would appeal the verdict regarding Ripple, this is one of the reasons why I was one of those people. Rather from being beneficial to the organization, it was going to be detrimental, and the appeal that was filed against Ripple on October 2nd contradicted what Judge Torres had stated in court. It is not uncommon for Tenedero to engage in activities that are illegal. An example of this would be his involvement in the Depot case, in which the Securities and Exchange Commission has accused evidence that was both deceptive and fraudulent in order to pursue charges against the company. The CEO of the company stated that the SEC was distorting the facts. There is a pattern that appears to be occurring here that is recognizable. Gary Gensler is credited by Congress with transforming the Securities and Exchange Commission from a respected body into one that blatantly believes it is above the law. But that is sufficient. We should be able to get a proper answer within the next several weeks, if all goes well. In their fight against the SEC, Coinbit and Crypto.com have been successful, not to mention the fact that the regulations governing cryptocurrency in the United States are coming up more sooner than you might expect. The prices of cryptocurrencies and XRP are on the verge of skyrocketing to new heights. At this point in time, there is a significant amount of money that can be generated in this sector before international adoption is well established. Because of this, I decided to create a Discord server that anyone may join without cost. 80 of us are currently exerting a lot of effort in order to achieve our goal of becoming financially independent by sharing information and alpha wherever we can. Simply use the link that is provided in the next sentence to sign up. I have also stated that the cryptocurrency bull run will take place over the next few weeks, if not months. You and the SEC are both running out of time right now. Time is running out. A warning has recently been issued by the SEC to Crypto.com's global audience. To put it simply, it is a warning that the agency is going to sue you, but Crypto.com did not just sit back and watch what transpired. They decided to take the same action as everyone else and file a lawsuit against the Securities and Exchange Commission seeking reaction to the global attention, challenging the SEC's excessive regulation of the majority of crypto assets. It is against the law for the Securities and Exchange Commission to assert that transactions involving practically all crypto assets constitute security dealings, regardless of the manner in which these assets are sold. This is something that the Securities and Exchange Commission has done on its own. Despite the fact that there are indications from both parties that the upcoming administration would seek to reform crypto legislation and crypto operations in the United States, I find this to be completely absurd. Despite these, Congress acknowledged that the Securities and Exchange Commission had a vote of 1-1. Taken the decision to increase their efforts and devote themselves to fighting and destroying the cryptocurrency industry as much as they can till the very end. The dominance of Gary Gensler might be over in just a few weeks, which is a happy development. In the event that Donald Trump is elected president, it is anticipated that Dan Gallagher, the chief legal officer of Robinhood, will assume the role of chair of the Securities and Exchange Commission. By virtue of the fact that Robinhood collaborates closely with Ripple, this would constitute a substantial quantity of XRP, and it is highly probable that the Ripple case will be dismissed. That is the case. Considering that Gary Gensler is disliked by everyone, this might be a reason to vote for Donald Trump. It appears as though the rope that is around Gary Gensler's neck is becoming increasingly tight. Coinbase appears to have made measures to make things as difficult and stringent as they possibly can be for Gary Gensler and the Securities and Exchange Commission. Once more, I believe that the appeal to the SEC was foolish, and it has obviously been a massive failure because the Coinbase exchange has now backed the appeal that the SEC filed for Ripple. a fresh letter to the judge, requesting that the judge grant its own request for an appeal while the case is still ongoing. Their goal is to present their argument in conjunction with Ripple's. Individuals from a variety of storylines might collaborate in order to defeat the main character, such as Batman and Superman using their combined abilities. Taking this action was a smart decision on the part of Coinbase, because the SEC's appeal in the Ripple case strengthens their own particular case. It is quite difficult to predict whether or not something significant will take place before to the election. Likewise, it is dependent. If Donald Trump is elected president, that could be the limit for the widespread adoption of cryptocurrency in the United States, depending on who wins. However, regardless of the circumstances, Smoke has stated in these official documents that I am about to present to you that there are now significant signs that the crypto rules in the United States are almost here. In order to obtain additional information regarding the rapid change in regulations regarding digital assets that was implemented by the FDIC, Congress sent a message to Martin Gruenberg, the chairman of the FDIC. At the end of the day, Congress is taking action. In order to determine the reason for the FDIC's decision to suspend working on crypto regulations, they decided to take action yesterday, on October 7th. So quickly, important things, such as the CC's internal messages, will be readable to us with this capability. There is a beginning to the acceleration of the general usage of blockchain technology, and clearly defined laws will be in place almost sooner than you have anticipated. At the end of the day, we are asking for rules, just like Christine Lagarde, the president of the European Central Bank, says in this interview. This is exactly what we are looking for. Is finally the time that we have all been anticipating in order to turn the switch on. It is important to pay attention to it. I am here in Niigata, Japan, for the G7 meeting, and this is where I am. Please allow me to show you these beautiful flowers that were grown by Japanese farmers in the surrounding area. It is now the most gorgeous aspect of the journey that we are experiencing. For the next 2 days, there will be meetings that do not break up at any point. We will discuss a wide variety of subjects, including but not limited to regulation of cryptocurrencies, CBDC, and financial safety. The macroeconomic situation, and it is a fantastic opportunity for me to communicate with my coworkers, share notes, and figure out how we can make the world a little more stable overall, and get to a position where prices are stable in a short amount of time. The price of XRP is on the verge of completely skyrocketing. For my part, I believe that, as a result of the new crypto regulations that are about to be implemented in the United States, as well as the fact that XRP is the only currency that is entirely legal and regulated, I really do. Organizations have come to this realization, they have begun to awaken. Currently, everyone is scrambling to get their hands on XRP, as seen by the fact that Bitwise has already put in for an XRP exchange traded fund ETF, Grayskull has an XRP trust, Robinhood has relit XRP, and Canary Capital has also gone in for an XRP ETF. It is no longer relevant what the Securities and Exchange Commission SEC has to say. The verdict has been made: XRP is not a securities, and it is going to skyrocket to the moon. Gather as much information as you can on your own, or even better, come to Chilter in a few days to acquire even more information. Don't focus on the immediate future instead, think on the future in the long term. In the following one, I'll see you again. After reading the news from today, you would be quite mistaken if you believe that the Securities and Exchange Commission SEC could not possibly get any worse. Since the CC filed an appeal against the Ripple ruling, the legislation has undergone significant changes. All of the legal leaders at the CC run the risk of losing their jobs as well as their licenses. Now there is a full-scale fight going on against the agency, with a number of institutions suing and going after the Securities and Exchange Commission SEC. Ripple was the initial step in the process, as well as XRP. Indeed, this is a pretty significant piece of news. As a result of the fact that crypto regulations in the United States are getting closer than they have ever been, we are already witnessing strong indications that XRP will soon be extensively used and its price will rise. To begin, it is plain to see that the Securities and Exchange Commission is unraveling. The Securities and Exchange Commission SEC announced just a few days ago that Gurbir Gurwal,